these rookies have put on quite a season, and it's not just Caitlin and Angel, Rickea Jackson and other rookies are killing it this year.
What happens when you underestimate a rookie? In Caitlin Clark's case, you end up looking pretty silly. Let's break down how this WNBA newcomer went from being laughed at to leaving her critics speechless. Picture this: Caitlin Clark, fresh out of college, steps into the WNBA. Everyone's talking about her, but not always in a good way.
Absolutely lived up to expectations, exceeded them much more so as quickly as we thought coming off that historic draft.
You know what's wild? Alyssa Thomas and some ESPN analyst actually laughed when someone said Clark would lead in assists. Can you believe that? They thought it was a joke. But here's the thing, Clark wasn't laughing. While everyone was busy doubting her, she was getting ready to prove them wrong. You think leading in assists is tough? Wait till you see what Clark did next. Let's just say those laughs turned into shocked faces real quick. Want to know how she shut them all up? Keep watching, because this rookie story is about to get insane. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Turns out those doubters weren't just wrong. They were spectacularly wrong. What if I told you Clark isn't just leading in assists, but dominating in ways no one saw coming?
Yeah, and you mentioned all the revenue drivers. We also signed a historic media deal since I was here last.
That's right.
Long-term media deal, which was important for the stability of the league.
The numbers are in, and they're painting a picture of a rookie who's rewriting the rulebook. Let's talk about those assists for a second. Clark isn't just good. She's league leading with 306 assists. You know what's even crazier? Alyssa Thomas, the one who laughed at Clark's prediction, is sitting at just 27 assists. That's not even close. It's like Clark heard the laughter and decided to turn it into fuel for her game. But here's the thing, assists are just the beginning of Clark's domination. She's not just dishing out passes like a pro, she's draining three-pointers like it's nothing and grabbing rebounds like she's been in the league for years. For a guard, her stats are off the charts. It's like she's playing a different game than everyone else. You know what's really wild? Those analysts who were laughing, they're not laughing anymore. In fact, they're probably trying to figure out how they got it so wrong. Clark's performance hasn't just silenced her critics, it's turned their laughter into straight-up embarrassment.
But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two.
Imagine being so confident in your prediction, only to have a rookie come in and completely shatter it. This isn't just about proving people wrong, though. What Clark's doing is showing everyone what happens when you underestimate someone's determination. She didn't just talk about leading in assists, she went out there and made it happen. And she didn't stop there. She's excelling under pressure, turning doubts into fuel, and showing everyone what she's made of. You want to know what's really impressive? It's not just the stats, it's how Clark's handling all of this. She's not out there bragging or rubbing it in anyone's face. Nope, she's letting her game do the talking, and boy is it saying a lot. You think leading in assists is impressive? Wait till you hear how Clark is changing the game off the court too. Clark's silent domination isn't just impressing fans, it's changing the entire landscape of women's basketball. Remember when people used to say nobody cared about the WNBA? Well, those days are over. Clark's rise has ignited a rivalry so intense, it's drawing comparisons to some of the greatest matchups in basketball history. Let's talk about the Clark-Reese rivalry for a second. It's not just any old matchup, it's being compared to the legendary Bird Magic rivalry. That's huge. This isn't just about two players competing, it's about bringing a whole new level of excitement to women's basketball. You know what's really wild? WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is saying this rivalry is eliminating apathy in women's basketball. She's not mincing words either. She straight up said, "There's no more apathy. Everybody cares." That's the kind of impact Clark is having. She's not just playing the game, she's changing how people see it. But here's the thing. With all this attention comes some serious challenges. Clark and other players are dealing with stuff that goes way beyond the court. We're talking harassment, racist comments, misogyny, ugly side of fame. It's not just about handling pressure on the court anymore. These players are facing a whole different kind of game off it. You'd think everyone would be thrilled about the increased interest, right? Well, it's not that simple. The Women's National Basketball Players Association had to step in and call out some of the toxic fan behavior. They're saying, fandom should lift up the game, not tear down the very people who bring it to life. That's powerful stuff. It shows that even as the sport grows, there's still work to do. Clark's journey isn't just about her. It's like a mirror showing us what female athletes deal with every day. They're not just competing in their sport. They're fighting battles off the court too. But you know what's amazing? Players like Clark and Reese aren't backing down. They're using their platforms to speak up and make a difference. Imagine being in Clark's shoes for a second. One day you're a college player, the next you're carrying the hopes of an entire league on your shoulders. That's a lot of pressure. But Clark's handling it like a pro. She's not just playing basketball, she's changing perceptions, breaking barriers, and inspiring a whole new generation of players. Think Clark's got it made now that she's a star? Think again. There's a war brewing in the WNBA, and it's pitting players against their own commissioner. The fight's not about who's the best player, it's about something way bigger. You know how we talked about Clark changing the game? Well, she's not just shaking things up on the court. Off the court, there's a whole different battle going on. And get this, it's got players, fans, and even the WNBA commissioner tangled up in a mess. So here's the deal. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert said some stuff about fan behavior, and boy, did it not go over well. She tried to brush off all the nasty comments and racism as just part of sports rivalries. Can you believe that? The players were not having it. Terry Jackson, who's like the big boss of the players union, straight up said Engelbert's response wasn't good enough. She's talking about vile hate, racist language, homophobic comments, and misogynistic attacks that players are dealing with. That's not just rivalry stuff. That's serious. And the players? They're not staying quiet. Kelsey Plum, one of the stars of the league, put it plain and simple. It's pretty clear there's a difference between rivalries and racism. Big difference. She's not wrong, is she? Alicia Clark, another player, got real about it too. She said, I wish Engelbert would have just said that it's not okay. At the end of the day, when we take these uniforms off, we're human beings. That hits hard, doesn't it? These players are out there giving their all, and they're dealing with this stuff off the court too. But wait, it gets even deeper. Chelsea Gray called out Engelbert for not talking about how most of the league is black women. She said ignoring that is doing a disservice to the majority of this league. It's like, how can you talk about these issues without mentioning race? This whole mess shows us something important. It's not just about playing ball anymore. These women are fighting battles we don't even see. They're dealing with fans who cross the line, a league that's not always backing them up, and all the pressure that comes with being in the spotlight. You know what's crazy? While all this is going down, players like Clark and Angel Reese are out there changing the game. They're bringing in new fans, making the sport more exciting. But with all that good stuff comes some really ugly stuff too.